and you're welcome to our second Development Education Day. And we really are very excited about the whole prospect of the day for you as learners about development education. As head of school of the School of Education, it's absolutely important that we project and expect you, our initial teachers, our new teachers into the world, to broadcast a message of equality, fairness, and all that togetherness and inclusivity that you've heard about throughout the course. So without further ado, I'm just going to introduce you to our opening speakers for the day. First we'll have Dr. Edward Herring, who's the Dean of the College of Arts, Social Sciences and Celtic Studies, who's going to introduce you to the day and welcome our guest speakers, who Mr. Son Young, have it wrong, and Mr. Padder King, who will be introducing you to the whole world, exciting world of development education. So welcome everybody, and I hope you have a very exciting day. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I forgot Dermot. Dermot is going to be another guest speaker here this morning. Dermot O'Donovan from the College of Medicine, the Department of Health Sciences, and he's very excited because he's doing a pretty presentation for the first time. Okay?
Thank you, Mary. On behalf of National University of Ireland, Galway, I'd like to welcome everybody here today, but particularly our external speakers and also our partners in this process of sponsoring and promoting development education. I'll mention some names at the end. You have a very exciting timetable with a series of specialist workshops at 11 o'clock and at 1:30. And then this morning there's a plenary session where, as already has been mentioned, Dermot O'Donovan, Song Gyo and Padder King will be speaking. And then at the end of the day, there'll be another plenary session. Development, sustainable development, is essential to a bright future in the 21st century. I think it's something where that basic idea, that basic concept would get broad agreement from the wider populace, policymakers, people in the developing world, people in the developed world. We hear a lot and we see a lot about the problems of inequality in the world and the tensions and misery that creates. So creating sustainable development, creating a just world, has a political imperative, a social and economic imperative, but perhaps above all else a moral imperative. Of course, creating sustainable development, supporting development in other parts of the world are difficult because there are issues around access to basic resources and access to finite resources. Those are challenges that the world will have to meet, and they won't be easy to address. But equality of access to opportunity, equality of access to education, shouldn't be such a difficult nut to crack. Education isn't a finite resource. It is something we can continually generate. And by supporting and sustaining development education, we help people in the developing world acquire the skills to solve their own problems and to create sustainable societies and economies in their own countries and regions. So development education is becoming an integral part of the second level education syllabus in Ireland, and it's therefore essential that initial teacher education programs actively engage in encouraging you, the next generation of teachers, to understand and to be positive advocates for development education. And just to give a sense of that centrality of development education, development education is now there's core modules in religion, civic, social and political education, history, geography, English and science. So you can see it's right through the curriculum. It's a strand running right through the curriculum. And today's Development Education Day aims to give a wide overview of development education to you, our student teachers. And you'll be introduced during the day to sample methodologies on how to incorporate development education into the teaching of your subject. So again, as we all know, if you're trying to teach students something, if you teach them something that seems not central to the core subject, students get the message and they don't learn it. So you have to give them the sense that this is absolutely essential and critical for success and is relevant to the subject. Today's event builds on a very successful inaugural Development Education Day that was held last spring. And it's planned that these events in the future are going to play a key role in integrating development education into the initial teacher education programs of the school in the future. I'm now going to say a few thank yous. We have apparently 300 participants lined up. I'd like to thank all of you because the very fact you're here in such numbers early on a rather drizzly morning, I think shows that you're getting the message, you've got the message, that this matters. We have 18 expert speakers, and I'd like to thank all of those for their contribution to the day, and particularly the keynote speakers, Jemma O'Donovan, Song Gyo, Paddock King, and Patsy Toland, who will be giving the closing address. This event is organised with the help of Ubuntu, which is the School of Education's Development Education Partners. So we're very grateful to them and their support. We'd also particularly like to acknowledge the hard work that's gone in from various colleagues from the School of Education who will go into making this day a success, but especially to Brenda Gallagher, who's been the crucial organiser of today's event. So just before I hand over to Gemma, I'd like to say what you're learning about today is really, really important. It'll be important in your careers and in the lives of the young people you'll be teaching in the future. So I hope that this will be an exciting, stimulating day that will give you jumping off points that you'll use throughout your future as teachers. Thank you very much.